welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video and welcome to my very first TBR tarot for the year of 2024. I can't believe we're doing our first TBR for 2024. That is just absolutely insane, but I am very excited to start this year off, and hopefully I started off with a bang. If you've never seen a tarot TBR from me, I use the Fairy Loot tarot cards to pick a book off of my TBR based off of the prompts that I have assigned to each tarot card. I also like to say this is not an original idea. There are plenty of other people that do this type of video, and I always leave a playlist down in the description box below of a list of people that do this type of TBR game as well. So I'm going to just quickly talk about my goals for this month's TBR, my spinner wheels that I do every month to read books that I'm trying to prioritize in every month, really, not just in the new year, but every single month. And then we'll go over how I did in December, whether or not I can get a reward or if I need to take a punishment, and then we'll get into the pulls for January. So my goals for really all of 2024, but really for this month, is to finish up some series, read books that I am reading for a readathon that I'm going to be a part of, as well as to reread and read all 3 Crescent City books. I am going to be rereading House of Earth and Blood and House of Sky and Breath with anticipation of the 3rd book coming out in the series, House of Flame and Shadows. So those are really my only goals. They're lofty goals, but those are the only ones for this month. But just like every single month, I'm trying to read more series and more books from my subscription boxes. I forgot to mention that, but yes, sub box books, series, and then this month particular, I'm trying to reread the Crescent City series and then read books that I am reading for a readathon that I am co-hosting and a part of. So those are my goals for the month. Hopefully I can attain them all. Let's hope this month is nice to me, but we never know. The TBR gods may not be shining down on me this month. We shall see. But let's go ahead and talk about my spinners for the month, and then we will go into the month of December. So for my subscription box spinner wheel for this month, we picked one that, honestly, I'm not sure if I'm excited for or nervous for, and that is By a Thread by Lucy Score. I am nervous mostly because I have not yet read a Lucy Score book that was not a part of the Knockabout series, and I love that series, like, so much. So I'm a little afraid that the rest of her books are not going to be as good, but I am excited for it. It did come in a bell box, I'm pretty sure, and I'm pumped to see if I like Lucy Score's backlist. This is an office romance, billionaire, hate to love, maybe. I'm intrigued to see what I'm going to think of it. I know for sure it's Grumpy Sunshine. Oh yeah, it says a grumpy boss romantic comedy. So I'm excited for it. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. And then for my series continuation spinner, this time I got Dark Olympus by Katie Robert, which the next book that I need to read is the 4th book, and that is Radiant Sin. I have loved every book that I have picked up in the series so far, so I'm excited to get around to this one. That being said, I need to read these ones because I am currently 2 books behind, and she's been publishing like 2 books a year. So at this point, she's going to publish books 6 and 7 before I can even get to books 4 and 5. This is an Apollo and Cassandra retelling. I'm excited to read it, and hopefully I like this one as much as the rest. And then finally, for my Kindle Unlimited or Stuff Your Kindle Day spinner wheel, I have so many books on this list. I got Trapped for Her Blood, but I looked and this is actually the 2nd book in a series, so I would need to read Auctioned for Her Blood first in order to get to book 2. I don't think I'm going to read both books this month, but I am going to read book 1 with the hopes that I can get to book 2 relatively soon. And then just a quick recap on my spinner wheel from last month. I did read 2 out of the 3, or I should say I DNF'd 2 out of the 3 for my Kindle Unlimited read, or Stuff Your Kindle Day read. I don't remember what it was called, but I did try it and I did not like it at all, so I DNF'd that. And then I also picked up and tried to read Garden of the Cursed by Katie Rose Poole. I got a good chunk of the way through this and just didn't really care enough for the story, so I did DNF that one as well. But the only book that I didn't get to on my spinner wheel was my series continuation, and that was Queen's Cove with The Wrong Mr. Right. I didn't get to this one, but I'm hoping to still read it sometime this year. Okay, finally, let's go ahead and go through all of the books that I was supposed to read in December and see whether or not I need to take a punishment or if I get a reward. For the 8 of Pentacles, I was to read Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade, and I DNF'd this. For the Sun, I chose A Long Time Coming by Megan Quinn, and I did read this. For the Devil, I chose Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, and I did read this. For the 2 of Moons, Orion chose The Collected Regrets of Clover, and I did read this. For the 7 of Stars, I chose The Foxglove King, and I did read this. For the 2 of Stars, I chose Ricochet by Krista and Becca Ricci, and I did read this. For the Hanged Man, I chose Whispers of You by Catherine Cowles, and I did read this. For the Empress, I chose Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas, and I did read this. And finally, for Strength, I chose Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas, and unfortunately, I did not read this, so I will have to take a punishment punishment. I'm not gonna lie, I contemplated not taking a punishment for this month and starting off with a clean, fresh slate, but I feel like I wanted to stick with my rules this month, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me in the butt, but I am excited to see what my punishment is. Hopefully it is not the only one that I don't want to get. There's literally only one punishment in there that I would just pray to the gods that I don't get. So crossing my fingers that that is not the case for me, and without further ado, let's pull our prompts for January. Alright friends, let's go ahead and pull our punishment card. Double pulls, the worst card in the deck. Alright. Okay, so of course, my punishment was the one that I didn't want to get, and that was to double the prompts. So I usually pick 8 prompts every month, which means I have to read 16 books. I'm capping it at 20 because if I pull any extra prompts from the month prior, I have to pull another prompt. So 20 is my cap. 20 is too many, okay? But let's hope and pray I can get some tiny books on this TBR because it's a lot. It's a lot, okay? So without further ado, let's pull number 1. Pull number 1, the King of Stars, and this is to read a book with a unique magic system. And you know, just a second ago I mentioned that I wanted to pick small books, but obviously I have to read CC2, so you know, close to 1,000 pages. No worries, nobody stress out, nobody freak out, it's gonna be fine. The first book is my favorite book of all time. I adore the second book, and I'm so excited for book 3, so I'm regretting all of my choices, but also I'm really excited for my reread. Pull number 2. The Hierophant. Pull number 2 got us the Hierophant, and that is to read a book with LGBTQI plus rep. And for this, I'm going to read Cleat Cute by Meryl Wilsner. This is a female-female sports romance, and I'm really excited for it. I've heard good things about this author and about this book, so hopefully I enjoy it. I am trying to read more subscription box books, and this is one of them. This is my last and final Afterlight book that I got before I canceled my subscription, so hopefully I can get to this one and love it. It does look really freaking cute. I think it's college, but I'm not sure. I'm not too sure, but I am excited to give it a go. Hopefully I like it. Pull number 3. The 6 of Pentacles. Pull number 3 got us the 6 of Pentacles, and that is to read a taboo romance, and for that I chose Unconditional by QB Tyler. I don't know the synopsis of this book, if I'm being honest, but QB Tyler tends to write taboo romances. That's kind of her thing, that's her niche. Any type of taboo, but it's almost always taboo. So I'm going into this thinking that it's a taboo romance. If it's not, then I will pick something else, but 9 times out of 10, that's what it's going to be, so this is the book I'm going to pick for this. Like I said, I don't know anything about it. The back is kind of vague, so I'm going in blind. Pull number 4. Whoa, almost lit the damn thing on fire. Temperance. Book number 4 got us Temperance, and that is to read a book with a tortured hero. And for that, I'm going to read House of Earth and Blood, the first book in the Crescent City series. This will be my 3rd time reading this book. And let me tell you, I'm just as excited as the first time. I cannot wait. This will be the easiest read of the 3 because I will not be annotating this one, but book 2, I'm coming for you with those annotations, girl. My feet are falling asleep. I hate filming cross-legged because I always end up with so many tingles in my toes. Pull number 5. the Seven of Stars. Pull number 5 got us the Seven of Stars, our very first pull that was from last month. So we'll be doing, what is it, 17 pulls? You know, it's fine. And this is to read a book with a foiled cover. And for that one, I'm actually going to be putting in House of Flame and Shadow into this place. Every book in the series has had foiling on the cover. So I'm going to assume that the third book is also going to have foiling on it. If it comes to me on 30th, mind you, if it comes to me on the 30th and it does not have foil, I will pick something else for this prompt, but I will be reading this book in 2 days. So if it's not for this prompt, cut me some slack because I'm reading so many books this month and some of them are really chunky. So if it's not, you didn't see it. Pull number 6. Page of Pentacles. For pull number 6, we got the Page of Pentacles, and this is to read a Kindle Unlimited read. I'm going to be putting in my spinner wheel on this one that is Auctioned for Her Blood. That's the book that I'm going to be reading. I did get the first book on Kindle Unlimited because I didn't have the first book on my Kindle. So it worked out perfectly, and I'm going to read that one, and I won't have to add it into my TBR extra. So it worked out perfect for me. I think I said the numbers wrong there, but this is pull number 7. Three of Moons. Pull number 7 is the Three of Moons, and this is a bestie pick. So I did message my besties and said, hey, pick a book for me, please. Or somebody FaceTime me. It was a FaceTime. I said, please FaceTime me. And Dana, thankfully, was available, so she FaceTimed me and she picked a book. And honestly, girl, I could kiss you because you just saved my life. She picked The Edens, A Legacy Story. It's so short. It's 68 pages. This is what I needed. This is what I needed in my life. Thank you. I'm excited for it. I am currently in the middle of Jasper Vale, the 4th book in the series, if I can count. And this is the next book that I need to read in the series. And thank God it's a short story because I might have just cried if it was full length. I might have just. But you know what? It's a Kindle. Which means I have to read it with my eyeballs, but it's better than having to read a 700-page book. So thank you, Dana. You're amazing. I love you so much, and I'm excited for this one. Pull number 8. The Six of Moons. Pull number 8 got us the Six of Moons, and this is to do a viewer recommendation pick. And for this, I'm going to go to my, my entire unread TBR video, and if you guys left a comment on there recommending me a book, that is what I'm going to choose for my TBR. So I'm going to scooch over and I'm going to screen record my picking of the comment, and hopefully it's a book that I have not already read and am excited for and is short. Can you please make that happen? Thank you. Okay, you guys, I'm nervous, but let's do this. Oh, okay, it was Clint. Thank you so much. 2 besties in one video? How? I love this for you. And he wants me to read The Charm Offensive, which is great. It's another LGBTQI plus book, and it'll get me some points for my readathon, so it worked out for me. Okay, like I said, The Charm Offensive by Alison Cochran. This is the book that Clint picked for me, so thank you so much. I'm really excited to get to this one. I've had it on my list for a long time, so it's good that I'm finally getting around to it. It is traditionally published. I don't read a ton of trad published romances anymore, but I've heard really good things about this one. I believe it follows like a dating reality show where this guy goes on there to like be in a reality dating show, but he ends up falling for the producer instead. And it's a male-male romance. It has some like on-set TV type of thing going on, and I'm excited for it. I need to be reading more LGBTQI plus books, so I'm glad that Clint was the one that came up. We're officially halfway there. Pull number 9. The Knight of Pentacles. Pull number 9 got us the Knight of Pentacles, and that is to read a book that is part of a video idea. And for this, I'm going to be picking Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. I am trying to read this entire series in a video, so if you're excited for that, let me know. But I wanted to read an entire series by her, and I just recently picked these ones up because they are getting traditionally published, and I wanted to have the physical copies of the like traditional, the self-published versions, and they just look so beautiful. I figured it would be a fun video, so I am trying to read the entire series this month. Yes, do I have a lot of books on my TBR already? Should I probably rethink my plans? Probably, but I'm not gonna. So this is what I'm gonna read, and hopefully I like it as much as the Chestnut Spring series. I really don't know anything about this. I think it's Hate to Love. It's small town. It's cowboy. That's all I know, and I'm excited for it. Pull number 10. number 10 got us Death, and that is to read a mafia romance, which is perfect because this book is on my winter TBR, I'm pretty sure, and that is The Rebel by Sophie Lark, the next book in the Kingmaker series. I believe this is also on my 24 and 2024, if I'm not mistaken, which is great because I need to be prioritizing books on that list. So I'm excited about that. Is this a Marriage of Convenience? No, I don't think so. This is the series that follows the children of the Brutal Birthright series, and they go to a school called Kingmaker to learn how to like be in the larger roles of the mafia. So it is a mafia romance. It is a school setting. I didn't love the first book, but I'm excited to move on to the next book in the series, and hopefully I like this one more. I don't remember which characters it follows, but I am excited for it. Pull number 11. Strength. Pull number 11 got us Strength, another pick from last month, so we are up to 18 pulls for the month. Just great. And that is to read a book with a strong female character. And I'm going to be reading My Soul to Keep by Kennedy Ryan. If you guys know, you know, I am a huge Kennedy Ryan fan, and I'm surprised I haven't picked up this series yet. This one follows characters that we know and love from the Grip trilogy. This book is Kai and Risen's story, and I'm really excited to get around to this one. Actually, always. She writes very, very strong female characters, so I know this one's going to fit for the prompt, and I'm really excited for it. I'm sure it's going to probably pull on my heartstrings. I know that it's going to be a book that is going to just absolutely destroy me, but also just make me love Kennedy Ryan even more. I'm literally so excited, and I cannot wait to pick this one up. So every time I look at this book, it makes me want to cry, and I haven't even read it yet. Pull number 12. Eight of Stars. All right, I don't even know what number we're on, but the next pull was the 8 of Stars, and this is to read an audiobook. Now, I could have chosen a strictly audiobook, but I was trying to pick books off of my TBR because I'm trying to get my TBR down, and I know for a fact I will be listening to this book via audiobook alongside the ebook. So I chose another long one, Forever and Ever by Lucy Score. 2 Lucy Scores in 1 month. Would you look at that? But again, they're chunky. But it's part of my winter TBR. I'm trying to prioritize the books on that list because I need to do better. If I'm going to make a list, I want to stick to the list, okay? I want to check it twice. Thank you very much. So I'm going to try to get to this one. I don't know what it's about. I think it's small town, but it says here on the back, you don't fall for your brother's high school sweetheart, your boss's daughter, or your ex-wife's best friend, especially when they're all the same woman. Oh boy, I'm excited. It's going to be messy and angsty. Oh, she's gonna do me good. I'm excited for this one. Pull number 13. The Judgment. Next up, we have The Judgment, and this is to read a Marriage of Convenience story. And for this, I'm going to pick up The Temporary Wife by Katerina Mora. I didn't love book 1, but I am curious to see what I'm going to think of books 2 and 3. Dana did gift these to me, so I would like to pick them up. I know it's a Marriage of Convenience. The entire series is based off of Marriage of Convenience, so I know that's what it is. But other than that, I don't know too much more, and hopefully I like it more than book 1, because at this point, I need good vibes. Pull number 14. The Moon. Our next pull got us The Moon, and that is to read an emotional book. For this, I chose the Swoony Readers book club pick for the month of January, and that is The Coldest Winter by Brittany C. Cherry. She tends to write emotional reads. The last book that I read from her was quite emotional as well, and I think from what I can remember of the synopsis, it's going to be emotional. If I'm wrong, you didn't hear it, okay? Okay, thank you. We're just gonna roll with it. I'm not gonna read another book. I can't. At this point, I just can't. So, The Coldest Winter, that's what I'm reading for emotional read. If it makes me cry, great. If it doesn't, it did. Okay? Thanks. How many times am I gonna reposition myself to not be in pain? Getting old sucks. Okay. Pull number 15. Oops, I had 2. The Chariot. Up next, we got The Chariot, and this is to read a book involving war. I think I'm stretching this just a teeny tiny bit, but if this book doesn't get off my TBR, it's gotta go. And that is Dark Harmony by Laura Thalassa. I've had this on many a list, and I have yet to read it, but I just read the novella in the series, the last book that I needed to read before I could finally get to this one. So I just needed to do it. I need to do it, and I need to read it, and I'm not sure if this really involves a war, but there are multiple people that are battling these main characters, and for me, it's a war. It's an internal war. It's I don't know, it's a war, and we're gonna count it, and please, I'm begging you, please don't fight me on these, because I just don't have the emotional capacity for it, okay? Thank you. Pull number 16. The Fool. Our next pull got us The Fool, and that is to read a second chance romance. And for this, thank the Lord, I'm gonna be reading A Photo Finish by Elsie Silver, the next book in the series, the Gold Rush Ranch series. That part of that video idea that I'm trying to do. And if I can at least fit one more book onto the TBR that's a required read, it works for me. It's perfect. Pull number 17. The Eight of Pentacles. Okay, pull number 8. First of all, it's another book from last month. I made a mistake in the pulling portion of this because I didn't realize this was a pull from last month. So I do actually have to pull another card. So we're actually up to 19 pulls. Thank you very much for asking. This is a random number generator. I just need to randomly generate a number. So I'm going to go ahead and get that all set up and randomly generate with you. And then we'll pull an extra card before we go on to our whatever next pull is. Okay, as you can see, I have a little spreadsheet here with all of my unread TBR books. And I have 228 books on my list. So I'm going to go ahead and randomly generate a number between 1 and 228. Do I say 228 or 288? I don't even know. 228. And then if I get a book that's part of a series that I'm not on that book, I will respin again. I do it 3 times because I'm extra. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. Book 65. So let's scroll up to 65. And that is Gleam by Raven Kennedy, but I don't know if that's the next book that I need to read in that series. Let's find out. If I could type, that would be great. That is book 3 in the series, and I need to read book 2. So we cannot read that one, so let's go ahead and do another random number. 1, 2, 3. 133. 133 is Saint by Sierra Simone. This is technically the 3rd book in a series, but they are interconnected standalones, so I'm going to count it, and I'm going to read Saint. This is a male-male romance, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, yes, it is male-male. This is Saint, the 3rd book in the series, and it would take a saint to resist Elijah Iverson. So Aiden falls in love with Elijah. I don't know what it's about or what it entails. I know it's taboo. I know that for sure. It has maybe something to do with religion, because the 1st book is priest, and I think all of them have to do with some type of religious aspect, but I don't know what it is for the 3rd book. I'm excited to get around to this. I just read another Sierra Simone recently and really enjoyed it, so I'm curious to see what I'm going to think of this one, and hopefully I like it, and then I need to pick up book 2 so I can finish up that series. Okay, let's go ahead and pull another TBR card and hope and pray that it's not from last month, because then I'll be at my cap of 20 books, okay? And I can't do it. All right, I just shuffled it, so I'm going to go ahead and just pull a card and pray. The Knight of Wands. Let me double check. Okay, the Knight of Wands was not from last month. So thank God I don't have to do another pull because I just cannot. I can't. So the Knight of Wands is to treat yourself. Look at that. They said pull another card. Be kind to yourself. I don't know what I'm going to treat myself with, so let me look at my Amazon wish list and see if there's anything that I want to read that's maybe a part of a series that I am at all interested in. So I'll bring you along in the process. I'll scroll through my wish list and see if I can find anything that I want to read. I just remembered I was scrolling through my list and I had this thought percolating in my head that I need to read something with my besties this month, and I couldn't remember what it was, but I just remembered what it was. So let me go look up the name of the book, and I'm gonna buy that one. Okay, I figured it out. It is Cruel King by Rena Kent. The 1st book in the Royal Elite series. We are reading them in like reading order, so you're supposed to read this series and then the Gods of Malice series. So I'm really excited to get to this one. I'm glad that I remembered that I needed to read it because I don't want to miss out on this buddy read because we're reading 1 a month. So cross my fingers I like it. Cross my fingers that I enjoy it because I am going to buy a physical copy even though I don't need one. But they said treat your shelf and I said okay. And what is hopefully our last pull number 18. The Page of Wands. And thank God, our last and final pull, the Page of Wands, and that is to read a book with sprayed edges. For this, I'm going to be reading Omen of Ice by Juice Accardo. It does have sprayed edges. It is an Owlcrate special edition, and I'm reading this specifically for the, what's the word I'm looking for? My brain's broken. Readathon that I am co-hosting next month. I will leave all the information for the readathon down in the description box below, but I will be doing a separate TBR for that readathon. So that's the reason why I kind of haven't explained it a bunch, but I will leave the co-hosts and the information down below, but keep a lookout for a full TBR video on that readathon. But this is a fae story, a winter fae story. I don't really know too much more other than that, but it fits the prompts like so well that I had to pick it up. I don't know too much about it other than the fact that it's fae and wintry, so hopefully I like it. It'll be one more sub-box book that I can get off my list, so I'm not complaining. I'm just here for the ride at this point. I would lift up the books for you, but I'm not gonna, because holy guacamole, 19 books on this TBR. I did want to start this year off with a bang, but this is not the type of bang that I was envisioning in my head, okay? So I need you to send me all the love, prayers, and protection for my life this month, because I'm going to need it. Send the good lucks in the comments, and the why do you do this to yourself in the comments, I'm sure is coming. Somebody's going to be like, Kaylani, why didn't you just not take the punishment? Or Kaylani, why don't you just like not do double pulls when you pull an extra one? You know why? Because I love chaos. And I know you guys do too. Or else you wouldn't keep watching me suffer. Okay? Okay. All right, that is the end of this video. If you made it to the end, leave a book stack emoji per usual, because the stacks are doing their damn thing. If you've read any of the books I mentioned today, feel free to let me know what you thought of them. Let me know what you plan on reading for the very first month of the year, what's on your TBR. I would love to chat with you down in the comments. That is the end of this video, though. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And of course, leave any comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Next, baby, turn it down like a sweet and ready. Go slow, keep it nice and steady. Know that you've been keeping patience.